glad to see y'all. I wish you were as nervous as I was.
We are.
Well, this is a true honor. This is something I've dreamed about, not about me talking, but about you being here and us starting off what we call our first university. Our biggest opportunity to double our business, triple our business, grow beyond any dreams that all of us in this room have is simply one thing, and that's getting quality people who want to make a big, huge living. Now that just seems simple. Why don't we just go out and tell our story that we got a great big job, pays a whole lot of money? Well, most of y'all have dealt with other people and you've been in some kind of job, and you know that in general, people are lazy. They take the easy way out. So first I want to thank, because I know this is being filmed, I see the camera, I want to thank all the managers and people who have taught you. I am anxious to see the film because I have not. But I've got a great idea of what all they've said. And I hope that you realize that each one of these people has a lot of expertise. Each one of them has their own way of presenting it. They have their own personality. But all of these people that have talked to you are very successful. They're very successful. Most of them started off exactly like you are here today, in sales. And they've worked their way up to different positions. I'll give you a little background. I was adopted, and I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks old. Never did hunt my parents. 2 people came by and got me out of the hospital, took me to a farm, and I was their only kid. Grew up on a farm, a tractor, horses, and had a great life. I was an all-state basketball player. As long as I was, when kids were this size, and I was the same size, and I was so great. Didn't have quite the middle of the strength that I have in the middle. But when I moved to a bigger school, I learned how to sit on the bench for 3 years. So, and my dad said, look son, your mother and I don't have an education, but you're gonna go to college, and if you make a C, you're gonna come back and drive this John Deere tractor the rest of your life. I had been on that tractor early in the morning for a long time. I didn't ever want to see that son of a bitch again. So I studied hard. College really didn't teach me anything. The only thing it did for 4 years, and that's why I don't think college is that important, is it taught me how to get along with other people and to make real friendships and who to trust, who could you confide in, how to be social, how to learn not to dance with a cigarette in your mouth, how to dress, how to open a door for a girl. I didn't know that. Some girls don't want you to open the door now, but I believe in that. How to stand up when a lady comes in a room. I learned all that from being in college and going to different events. And it's done me well since then to be polite, be nice. So first thing I want to do is try to teach you a little bit about, so I'm going to tell you how I got from college not learning much to, I've always been lucky. I always thought when you get adopted, you're pretty lucky. So I go to work after I get out of school for a company called DuPont, and we sold paint. So I'm going down the road with this paint trying to sell it, 21 years old. I meet a guy named Sam Walton, and that's when you call getting lucky. He's opening his second store up in Harrison, Arkansas. So I go in and say, Mr. Walton, hi, I'm Frank Fletcher. I'm with DuPont Paint. He said, God bless you, son. We're looking for some name brands. And I said, great. So I said, I'd like to sell you 300 gallons. He said, how much is that? And I said, $1,500. He started shaking his head like that. That was my first sales experience of no. So to make a long story short, we went to a Lions Club. I sat there and negotiated with him, gave him 120 days, told him I'd come put the paint out on the counter, and I sold him. And there's some great funny stories of what all happened with Mr. Walton and myself. So a few years went by, a couple of years, Mr. Walton said, I want you to quit DuPont and I want you to go to Chicago. And I said, where's that? Because the farthest north I'd ever been was Fayetteville, Arkansas, being from South Arkansas. I knew Chicago was up there somewhere in the middle of the country, but I never thought about going there. So he said, go over to Memphis, get on a train, and it'll stop in St. Louis, and you'll wind up in Chicago. He didn't tell me to wear a coat. I got off the train in Chicago right by Lake Michigan, or Lake Erie, or whatever it is. And I had contacts on, and they froze quickly to my eyeballs. You don't go to Chicago without the right clothes. So that was January. So then I went over to this place called McCormick Place and went around to these booths of merchandise and said, hi, I'm Frank Fletcher. I want to represent your company. And they look at me like, you must be a complete idiot. Where do you want to sell stuff? I said, I want to sell it to Walmart. Well, who is Walmart? And truly, that's kind of funny now, but they did not know who Walmart was. And it was difficult. But anyway, I got all these different lines of merchandise. And one of my first days that I had less money than any of you had, I came to Joplin, Missouri. And this is store number 59, unless they changed the number, and I don't think they have. The original 59 was here. And we did truckload sales where we pull up the trucks in front of Walmart, get garbage cans, we put shelving down, and we put a rug over the shelving to make it look pretty. And we displayed our merchandise, just like a carnival. And we had all kinds of other merchandise. And then people would come into Walmart and we'd say, hey, come over here, we're having a sale. And we sold our stuff out in front of this store many times. And every time they opened a Walmart store, they had these truckload sales. And I had to get out there at 5 o'clock in the morning, back the trucks up. So that's the way I started. And just to show you where you can come from, we did not have a television. I had a car with no battery in it. It was a standard shift. You push it down the road, down the hill, you let the clutch out and it'll crank without a battery. And I like to think about those days. Once I got a battery, I'd double my territory because I could call on people on flat land. That was exciting days. So, some of these gentlemen back here worked for me. I'll tell you a story about how they got to be. So anyway, I sold, and Mr. Walton called me in one day, and I told my wife he's going to give me a trophy. So he called me in, he said, this is a bad day, Frank. I was about 28. He said, we're going to get rid of you and all the other salesmen because we want your commission. We're going to call the factories you represent, and we're going to get your money because we need your money, and we really don't need your expertise anymore. We're Walmart. And I said, well, surely you're not talking about me. I've been here since day one almost, you remember? And he said, I'll tell you what, son. He said, you go down to Little Rock and rent you a warehouse or a garage, and I'll buy something from you if you can make it. I said, man, I have no ability to make anything. I have difficulty turning on my car. I'm not a maker. I'm a seller. So I went down and rented a warehouse and started assembling lamps. And when I say assembling, we bought the parts and put them together. And then we started a little company called Cheyenne Industries, which none of y'all should have ever heard of. But these guys back here worked for me, and we built that thing from a garage to the largest lamp company in the world. We went to Taiwan. We started in Little Rock, moved out of the garage into a bigger garage, to a factory, to Taiwan, to mainland China. We built factories all over mainland China. We sold everybody, Target, Home Depot, Penny's, Lowe's, you name it, we sold them. The reason you don't know the name Cheyenne is we sold each one of them under their name, whatever name they wanted. And all of them said, we got to have a different lamp. So, you know, we put a different shade on it or a different base on it, and we made it different to satisfy them. So, the point of this whole story is, I have been selling all my life. I know nothing about computers. I'm not real good with a lot of things. I know nothing about service. I mean, I'm just terrible. I'm a salesman, and I know what I am, and I think I can sell, you know, cemetery lots in a grocery store. But that's what you've got to become. You've got to become salespeople. And I'm going to try to tell you some of my tactics. This first thing is, when you go up to someone, you know, they've taught you about how to meet and greet and all that. But what you want to do is get on the customer side. You no longer work for Frank Fletcher. You're Tom, Dick, and Linda, and you're working for Mr. and Mrs. Customer. You stand there. If you look nice, they're going to size you up within 4 to 5 seconds. And if you smell bad, y'all gonna laugh at that. Or if your hair is going crazy, or if you don't look good to them or look decent to them, they're not gonna deal with you. They're just gonna say, I'm just looking, they really don't wanna deal with you because you're not looking like that you want to be their friend. So always, they say, I'm just looking. That's the standard answer. And you say, I understand. That's the key word. And you say, I'm just here to help you. If you'd like me to give you any information, I'll be glad to. If you'd like to look around a little bit, I'll go over here out of the way and you just give me a signal when you'd like me to show you something. You don't get right up on them and start going, let me show you this. They don't want that. You don't want that. Think about when you go shopping. If you want information, you want somebody there quick and ready to help. But you don't want somebody over your shoulder breathing on you, telling you how smart they are, or asking you where you live, how much you make. They don't want that. You don't want that. Just think about when you go shopping. They really just want to, if you listen, they will tell you what they're looking for, and they will tell you what their problems are. I'm upside down in my car, I can't afford but $200, I'm out of a divorce, my mother's got cancer. They'll tell you whatever their life story is, but if you keep talking, you won't hear what they're saying. So you say to them, let me explain if they say, tell us what, help us. And I'd say, well, let me explain to you about our pricing here at Frank Fletcher Ford, or wherever you are. We have several different kind of pricing. I just want to give you a basic so you'll know what you're looking at. All of our used cars are priced. And you point out one of these to them, and you say, this is quite different from Roper or Crossroads, and you show them one of these. You just point to a car, and you say, what we do here is we give you our best price right up front on the car, so if it's you or your wife or your cousin, everybody's going to get the same price. And we got all the information in what your model is, how many miles did it have on it. You go over and look at Roper or look at any other place in town, you can't figure out how many miles they got on them. They don't want you to know how many miles they got on them. But we tell you everything. We even tell you, and we tell you as a salesperson, this car has heated seats. If you're a lady, my daughter won't buy anything unless it has heated seats. But you as a salesman, you have no way in hell knowing whether that edge has got heated seats in it because you haven't been out there and turned them on. So you read the sign with them. So now this sign makes you smart. Tells you, you're telling them, did you see this got a backup camera? Oh, really? Got heated seats. It's got whatever it's got on it. It's all right there. So they don't know that you haven't learned all that and studied every car. It's impossible. That's why we put it on here, for you and for them. So you say, when you go over to another place, they'll start asking you about where you work. All these questions that are none of the salesman's business. So you say, I'm truly proud that we offer you our very, very best price. And if they say to you, well, I just went over, I could buy this car for $1,000 cheaper. I really can now. I just want you to know, you may think that's the best price. And you say, well, where did you look? I'd sure like to know. Well, we went over to Crossroads and they got the same car. Well, that's fantastic. Maybe we need to adjust our price. Let's go in and get on the internet and let's look at the Crossroads car. It's on there. Oh my God, it's got 77,000 miles on it. Yeah, it's cheaper than ours. It's a standard shift. It's a 4-cylinder. It's got a bad Carfax. So you can stop it's cheaper than ours if you go on the offensive rather than, oh, I'm sorry, you go find out because they're completely telling you something that's not true. Because we go on the internet and find out what the other guy's got, and we don't price our car, we price them lower. And the faster y'all believe me and go learn yourself, go home tonight, pick out a car out here, get on the internet, shop like you want to buy it. When you know we have the best price, you'll be able to project that confidently, not meekly. You'll be able to say we have the best price. Now, once a car gets about 45 days old Frankie boy here owes about $750 million every night when I go to bed. I didn't know that for a long time. I wish I'd never found out. but my CFO got a free suite of the Cardinals game, and I said, how'd you get to sit up there with that bank? He says, man, you owe $750 million to the Bank of America. I do what? They never invited me, but he got to go because he borrows the money. So I decided, I don't need to pay interest on $750 million. I need to get rid of these cars when they get old. So this is the hit list. This doesn't work out very good. It went up from $15.99 to $30,000. So Josh Barnett gave me this example, so you're fired. But anyway, what we do is we put this across where we don't destroy any of the information that was already on here. The miles and the equipment is all still here, so you don't have to tear up. You still know all the stuff, but when you see one of these on a car, the customer really won't notice a difference. But you know in your sales pitch that we have marked this thing down to what we call a hit list. And now we're down to cost. Because we're going to move this car. For some reason it was not a good color, or it's just not what people are looking for. Maybe it's a Volkswagen. I'll give you a great example. They're not really looking for Volkswagens right now. Volkswagen's still a great car, but nobody wants one. So when you see this, it's something for you to get pretty darn excited about. Because now you're down to cost and you can prove it, and guess what? Your commission goes up about 3 times. You start making more commission. So I always just am amazed how much trouble I have explaining the green tag and the hit list, that it's absolutely the most wonderful thing that we've ever come up with. Because it lowers the price to move cars. And when you're talking to a customer and you start talking to them, you can't really talk about hit lists because they think you're killing somebody. They won't let me advertise it as a hit list. But it's what it is. We're killing that car. We're getting it out of here. The main thing you want to always remember is when you're telling the customer something, there's 2 good answers. Is, sir, I don't know that, ma'am, I don't know the answer to that. Please let me find out for you. I'm new. They will respect you. They'll appreciate it. Don't try to make up something as you go along. The second thing is always tell them the truth. Okay, like here's the truth. This car has been marked down on Mr. Fletcher because he's paying interest on 10 dealerships, and when they get to a certain age, he decides it's time to quit trying to make any profit and to get rid of the car so that he can stop paying interest, and you, the customer, get the benefit of the lowest price you'll ever see. Now what was that? That was the truth. It's really easy to tell that. And you know what? The customer can understand what you're saying, and they know that was the reason. I mean, they will believe you. Okay, second thing is, when you're looking at a couple, all of us make the mistake, or the men do, we talk to the man. Sir, let me show you this. Sir, did you see this? It's got big tires on it. And the wife has got a hold of his arm. And I got news for you. The sir is not making the decision. He's not making it. You might not find out till they get in the F&I office and they leave and not buy. Because the wife in my house, in every house of these guys that I all know, most of their wives, the wife says, here's our budget, Johnny boy. Here's what we're going to spend. And maybe he can talk her into $25 more a month, and but the woman is the one you really want to pay attention to. So don't make a mistake of standing there and talk to Mr. Talk to both of them, but be really respectful to anybody and everybody. But the ladies really want to hear what you've got to say to them. And here's what they want to know. Does it have heated seat? Does it have backup camera? Everybody's got a child wants to know if it has backup camera because it's very dangerous backing a car up. So, now, remember when I started off saying, make friends. So if you see a man and a woman, and maybe they'll have a dog in their car. I'll just give you an example. Say, you mind if I pet your dog? Which some of you probably really like to pet the dog. Or whatever they have, comment on whatever if they got a kid with them, it's a fantastic child. Start making a little conversation. Try to get them to like you. Because if they like you, you can call them back after they leave. They can call you back. They feel a direct relationship. And you say, if he says, that may be the greatest price, but I can't pay the difference between my car and that. I just can't, you know, I understand you're telling me that's a great deal. Let me go to work for you. That's what Roger said, let me go to work for you. Those are key words, let me go to work for you. You go back in and you get the sales manager to give them $500 more for their trade, or to put a new bed mat in it, or whatever you think will make the customer happy. You become their advocate. Because when they come up here, they don't have an advocate. It's just this big dealership, big signs, and it's them against us. And now what I want you to do is become their advocate. You're with them. It's the three of you telling the dealership what the three of y'all want to do to make a deal. And all you got to do is think about what you personally like when you go somewhere. If you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and somebody says, hey, let me take you down this aisle and help you. What are you leaving going, my God, I can't believe somebody helped me. So, those are very important steps to think about. And then your business is going to be based on that customer telling their sister and their neighbor how much each one, you know, it's you. Man, I met this salesman, this lady, she really cared about us, you know, she said that she would, you know, get my car tinted for me, or she would do this, she would do that, he would do this. You become part of who they want to call back. And most of these guys here will tell you that we have many, say, customers that buy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times their family comes in, but they only do that if they have a good experience. Now, the salesmen make a tremendous mistake in most of the dealerships that when after you sell them and you get your commission or you get your paycheck and however you're getting paid, and then they call back about 3 days later and you don't take their call. Now, I know they're mad. You know, I promised them those floor mats. They're still not here yet. I'm not going to talk to them. You've run all the stuff that we just talked about. You've got to, when they come back for the first free oil change or whatever it is, go out and greet them. Man, how you like your car? It's so good to see you. You know, I left 10 of my calling cards, business cards. I left 10 of those in your glove compartment, and I hope you'll pass them out to people you know. I really need some more business. Please help me. And they will, because you're back there getting those floor mats you promised them. Or maybe they forgot to get their car, I mean, it was raining, we told them we would wash their car, or we would do something. You're there to make sure, even though your deal is over with, because what you're doing is you are maintaining and creating your future lifeline. So, those are simple steps. The green tag, which I don't have an example of, but it may be blue here. We call them green because they're usually green. Are they green here in this store? Okay, they are. That's the same thing, and I went through the process here. Is they're on all the new cars. When the new cars get old, I mark them down to cost. And let me tell you a little trick. You can look at the green tag, you can see it yourself. It shows what our cost is and what we're selling it for. So you never have to lie to a customer. You never have to. You just don't have to tell them a big one. Just tell them the truth. And most of these managers out here, if you get a guy that says, oh, I don't believe that, I don't believe that. Manager will go get you an invoice and sit down with you and show the customer our invoice. I've had people say to me, Mr. Fletcher, I bet you y'all print those invoices up early in the morning and put whatever you want to on them. I get a big marker and I write on there, take to lawyer. If not true, car is free. It just stops the argument. Give them a copy. There's nothing confidential about what we pay. And I don't know if y'all had this explained to you, but let me tell you how we make money. So if you're ever wondering, I think this may be a lot of BS I've heard this week. We can sell a car for no profit. We make what they call a holdback, which most of you know what that is. We get it. It is to defer our interest floor plan rate, our overhead, all the things the factory makes us buy. They give us a holdback, which is 2 to 3%. Okay, we then take them into the F&I office and we average over $1,100 average. That means people don't buy anything and we're selling somebody for $2,200. So we average $1,100 per customer, selling them warranty protection, gap, a lot of other deals that we don't make them buy, we just present these things to them, they want them. Okay, so now, I told you about HOVAC, I told you about F&I, and then we get their trade-in. And we make money in used cars. So there's 3 processes there. Because you might wonder, what the hell would you sell a car for nothing? Because nobody I know believes that anyway. I'm just sharing it with y'all. My best friends don't believe it. They think we make $2,000 or $3,000 on every one of them. You can't convince anybody. They believe that car's got $10,000 profit in it, and we're going to make $2,000 or $3,000, which you're going to know we're not. But it's just, they don't understand the car business. You know, Jeep Wrangler from the MSRP to the bottom line has less than $300 margin. Totally, if we sold it for the window sticker, a Ford Focus has $175 total margin. Now, a Ford truck might have 10% or $2,500 margin. So it depends on the model. When I'm talking about the margin, I'm talking about the cost versus the window sticker. Nobody is going to pay window sticker. That deal is gone a long time ago. Okay, you hear about TrueCar. Y'all know what TrueCar, you see it on TV? You know, buy at the right price. I just wish the public knew that every time they deal with TrueCar, we have to pay $199 for TrueCar. So they just get charged more. TrueCar's ads, it's really not true. That word true is just not there. You're paying more to use those idiots. They don't work for free. They make you think, yeah, we're going to get you the best price out of the dealer. Well, the first thing I tell them is, buddy, we've already paid them $199. Let's make sure we make that. So when you're talking to your friends, yes, sir.
Mr. Fletcher, you shared a story with me that I think the class needs to hear about. You were at dinner with Brent and some attorneys and some people that make some money, and they kind of criticized Brent about you were a car salesman and how you straightened that story out. And they're going to hear this because they're going to be car salesmen. People are going to say that kind of stuff to them.
Well, I don't know exactly what I told Brent that night or told the other person. But the thing is, when people ask you what you do, you just tell them, it's always tell people the truth. Whatever you do, it's so easy not to have to remember what you told them last time or whatever. I am an associate of Ford or Chevrolet or whatever it is. Chevrolet we don't have anymore. But whatever it is, and be proud of your profession, because you're gonna be telling, every time you deal with somebody, you're just gonna help them and you're gonna tell them the truth. And by the way, these guys back here make more money than lawyers do. They make more money than the president of the bank does. They make more money than a lot of doctors do. These guys are here in this room. If you don't think they're highly paid, just ask one of them. Ask me. So you're working in a profession that they're, I'm sure y'all have some salesmen come here and speak to you. A lot of these salesmen are making $4,000, $6,000, $8,000. We have one of my favorite salesmen in where I live in Oil Rock is an African American man named Derek. He was a policeman, and Derek makes more money than I do. Derek makes about $14,000 a month, and he comes up to me and goes, "Mr. Fletcher, you know how I beat all these other salesmen?" I said, "Derek, tell me, I want to hear." He gets right up close to me. He goes, "It's a secret." I said, "Please tell me, Derek." He goes, "I'm here at 7 o'clock in the morning. I go to the service drive. There's nobody else here. Not the second best salesman or the third. They don't come at 7. They're not supposed to be here till 8:30. I'm the only one here. I got the whole game." He goes, "I go to the service drive. I walk into the service area and I go into a Mr. Business and I go, 'Y'all here having your car serviced?' 'Yes, we are.' 'Have you had any trouble with that car?' 'Oh my God, this is a third fuel pump. I mean, we've got a transmission out.' And Derek says, 'I'd sure like to buy you a cup of coffee. I'm called the Magic Man. Would you step up here to my office? You're the Magic Man.' He goes, 'Well, I'll tell you, here's the magic. I bet you'd like to get rid of that car, but you really just don't have any money to trade, right? And the customer says, yeah, we're upside down. And Derek says, well, here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna get that car bill you're gonna have to pay, Dave. I'm gonna pay for it. And I'm gonna get you in a car for the same exact payment you're making now. And you're gonna drive out of here with brand new tires, brand new antifreeze, brand new car, and I'm gonna take care of that nasty repair bill. What do you think about that? They go, I think you're crazy. But he goes to the manager and gets the information. They have to have a four-door sedan, they have to have a minivan, they have to have a truck. And then we have the software that we know exactly what those people are, when we run the VIN on that car for the service, we then know what their payments are, we know how much they owe, we know what it's worth instantly with some software we have. So Derek is then presented by these gentlemen, the managers, with 3 or 4 options for him to go back and tell Mr. and Mrs. service customer, I can put you in this 4-door Chrysler 200, I can put you in a Ford Fusion, and payments are $10 more than your past payment. And I'm sorry, I tried to get them close, but it's $10 more. He sells cars like crazy. Now it's not as easy as I just told you, because he gets some of them tells him that they don't care, they don't want to trade. But Derek is the only fisherman in the water at 7 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, there's 22 guys out there fishing, but he's got the only pole in the water. He goes home when it rains, he goes, Mr. Fletcher, I don't work when it rains. I go, well, how in the hell do you get off? He goes, man, when you sell 25 cars, they'll let you off around here 2 or 3 days a week. So, you know, when you go out here and y'all start, and I'm really excited about it because I understand this is the last day. Don't listen to the, and I'm sure you've heard this before because this is just the truth over and over and over again. Don't listen to the naysayers and the people who are leaning up against the post, smoking a cigarette going, this job, I hate this job. You know, I got screwed out of my commission last week and, you know, I'm gonna get me a job over here at the post office. Don't listen to those people. Go talk to the people that you see that are out there walking around the lot and talking to people and say, Charlie or Jane, you know, I'm brand new here. Would you please let me just follow you a little bit? Or when you get through talking to a customer and they leave and you didn't sell them anything, go over to a salesperson you like and say, hey, I lost those people and just give me some help. And they'll say, well, what did the people say? And you tell them a story and they'll tell you probably, you know, did you get their name? Well, no, I couldn't understand what they said. Did you give them your card? Well, they didn't ask for it. They're going to tell you things you didn't do and what you should do. Because if you get those people's name and a way to contact them without making them upset, then even if they leave, a lot of people say, I'm just looking, you know, I'm not ready now. But then we can send them an email when they're looking at this car and it goes down by, you know, $3,000 from what it was. You want to be able to call them back and go, you remember that Dodge Durango you were looking at? It just got reduced. It's down to cost. Come on back in, I'll hold it for you. Got to be able to contact them again. Okay? And you're going to really feel good when you have people come in, have been to Crossroads or somewhere that they got high pressured, they got mistreated, because they're going to tell you we had a bad experience. And that's when you want to always say that when you're delivering the car, you know, show them the radio, show them, you know, go through the whole process, and then just say, I sure have enjoyed waiting on you. Thank you so much for being our customer. Let me know, here's my card. I'm going to put some more in your glove part. Anything you need, you know, when you get ready for another car, your daughter goes to school, you need me to come get this car or something, you know, don't get a record, call me. Let me help you. If you leave them with that in their heart, they're going to want to deal with you again. And you're going to face some rejection, folks. Any of y'all been in a real estate business? Okay, a real estate business, you show a house over and over and over again, then you look down the street and they bought one from somebody else after you spent all Sunday afternoon 3 times showing them around town, and then they buy. So it's rejection. You're going to face some of that, and that's the hardest thing, is that you really work hard with a customer and they don't buy from you. Just don't let that faze you. Just go out there and y'all are gonna, I'm sure it's been explained to you, this is the first time we've ever done this, you're gonna be paid by the hour, but you can quit that job and go on commission when you're ready. We're gonna be able to show you what you would have made, but you're gonna be able to pay some bills in the meantime until you get your feet on the ground, which this class, I hope, is gonna put your feet on the ground the day you walk out of here. We have been doing in the past is going, hi, this is our lot, go out there, and there it is. So we hope we're doing a little bit better this week with you guys, that y'all feel prepared, that you feel like you know where things are and you know how to get to Steve Cottle. And Steve, I'm having a little trouble with the key machine, or whatever it is. You know people you've met here, all these people, Jim Adams, you stop by the Toyota store, if you're not a salesman there, I guarantee you, go in Jim Adams' store and get ready to get your breath taken away from you. He's gone out and bought velvet ropes. I thought we were having a funeral when I went in there the other day. He's got red carpet, velvet ropes. I said, where's the popcorn machine? And he goes, so this leads to my certified used cars. When you get on this carpet, you know you're going to glory land. I mean, Jim is so smart with marketing. Always making his store look great. You go in the Nissan store, look at the light ceiling, it's just gorgeous. This is the biggest single store in half of Missouri for cars on the inside. So when it's cold here, or if you go down to DCJ, you know, you don't have to shop out there in the cold. You come in, you get some water, get some coffee, you get the kids over in front of the television, get them comfortable, get grandma in the rocker. Get everybody set. And then you deal with the customer. But I'm going to close with the same thing I started with. Make yourself the customer's friend. Short time, medium time, and long time. And they will be your customer, and they will bring you multiple business. You will make them know that you care about them.
Yeah, we want to put you in a position to succeed. All the people in the back that came and talked to you today, at one time or another, were sitting in chairs just like you. Well, I take that back. They were hired on a dealership, but unlike you, they did not get quality and professional training. And I got the privilege of sitting in here and listening to a lot of them. Like Jim Adams, I think his story when he was in here on Monday afternoon, when he told you about before he went into the military, that he was a consistent 6-7 car guy, Jim? 3-4 car guy. And then he was lying to himself. He was telling everyone there was a 13-14 car guy. And he found out how to get into debt, and he was about to blow out of the business, and he did. And he went into the military, and he came back part-time. But when he came back, he went out and got some training himself. The dealership didn't provide it. He went out and did it himself. And he decided to become a professional. He was going to school to become a nurse, and he dropped out because he saw the future in this business, how much money he could make, and it was a lot more than being a nurse. And then when he came back, he was a 23 car guy, and he was still continuing to educate himself. And how about me remembering your life story, Jim?
All right.
When he went to the seminar, and he was the top guy in the seminar, they went around the room. I sell 10, I sell 12, I sell 16, and Jim said I sell 23 and a half. And Joe Verdi looked at him and said, how long have you been in that rut? And it was eye-opening. And then he became a student again of the business. And he's probably one of the most knowledgeable people. The people in the back, I mean, are as good of trainers and teachers that the industry has, and we're blessed to have them on our team. And Frank was visionary enough to say, hey, we're going to do a couple of things different now. We're going to go out and get a guy named Leo Cruz to recruit people and vet them and interview them and ask them questions. So everyone in this room, you pass the initial test to get into this room. Where before, if you came in and you could fog up a mirror, you were hired. Okay, as long as you didn't do a violent crime or had a bad felony on your record, we'd probably hire you. And that's what we're trying to change here. And the other thing that we're doing different is we're putting you in a comprehensive, maybe a 1-week training class, but in 1 week you're gonna get more training than most people in our industry get ever. And what you do with that training and the notes you have is strictly up to you. When you go back at your stores that you're all assigned to, and I think Steve went over that yesterday, did you not, Steve? You're gonna go into general population, okay? And there's gonna be a lot of people from all different walks of life. And I wish that I could say that they all were gonna be coming Monday with the same enthusiasm and hunger and professionalism and want to that y'all will be, but I'd be lying to you. You're gonna see some people with bad habits. You're gonna see some people with bad attitudes. And when Roger or JFK or Jim or Jason has a meeting, they're gonna leave that meeting and they're gonna wanna have a separate meeting with you. And they're gonna pull you aside. You're gonna get a guy that sells consistently 5 or 6 cars a month. And he's gonna tell you, don't listen to those guys. That's all, you know, candy and dreams. This is what its reality is. Hey, it's February and it's cold. We can't sell any cars when it's cold outside. They're gonna say in the springtime it's raining. We can't sell any cars when it's raining. Or in the summertime, you can't sell any cars when it's hot outside. Get away from them. Get away from those people. Who you wanna find out is a guy like Derek, a guy that's selling 25 cars a month. If you got a guy that's selling 15 cars a month, the people at the superstore, you wanna go see Mr. Cup, right?
For sure.
Kevin Tabarot. You want to go find the guys that are doing it right, that are making great money. The guys that, when we one of y'all talked and you said, one of y'all worked at Crossroads at one time, and out of 100 employees, no, it was Shane. Shane came and talked the first day. They worked at a store that had 100 associates, and 5 of those associates owned their own home. Okay? Why did he come to Fletcher? Because he met some of the managers and they had motorcycles, they had cars, they had boats, they owned their own home. That's what we want for you. So when you come out of here, associate yourself with the winners, not with the losers. You'll take yourself up or you bring yourself down by the company you keep. In your attitude, you choose each day if you're gonna have a good day or a bad day with how you're gonna show up to work. And Frank is here in town and we're blessed to have him speak. While he's here in town, I'm gonna have him talk to 3 individuals today that are sales associates and that have stood out. You sell 15 cars a month, 3 months in a row, I'll know everything about you. I'll know if you have children. I'll know your wife's name. I'll know about your upbringing, where you live. Because you sell 15 cars consistently, we wanna send you to F&I school. We wanna open a career path for you for the next level, to show you, to eventually be sitting in the back with these people. And some of these people have been to F&I school, they continue to excel, and I want Frank to meet these people. I want him to know the future generation of the company, the next JFK, the next Roger Williams. And I told you the first day, the highest paid guy in our company started washing cars for us in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Washing cars for us. Now he's the general manager of probably one of the largest Dodge Chrysler Jeep stores in the United States of America. And the greatest thing about the guy standing next to me, he doesn't care if you're 75 years old, if you're 18. If you're African American, if you're American Indian, if you're Caucasian. He doesn't care how old, how young, he doesn't care if you went to school. What he wants is great attitude, a work ethic, and someone that wants to be successful. We're gonna give you the tools in your toolbox to become professionals, to be successful. What you do with that is up to you. The 3 people that he's going to talk to today, let me tell you some of the things they all have in common. And I wrote him an email, a summary of each of them. He knows them all, but I'll tell him a little bit more. First and foremost, they show up early and they stay late. They're team players. They never, when it's time to move the lot, when JFK says, hey, you know what, we're going to move the lot today, they don't disappear. They're the first ones out there to say, how can I help you? And then they are mentors to people that are starting like you. So when you go to your store, and I'm going to talk to all your managers, I'm going to tell them the people that I want you to get to know. But I don't want to put you in with somebody that's going to not share knowledge with you. And when you leave here today, you got everyone's contact information that came and talked to you. But the key person here is Steve Cottle. Steve Cottle's on his 3rd career. He was a military. He was a professor at the University of Oklahoma. And now we're blessed to have him in our company. But without him here facilitating this week, it probably wouldn't have happened or been as successful. Use him. If you got a question, I don't think Steve's intimidating. He'll never make you feel like you're not smart, and there's not a bad question to ask him. The other thing, if you truly want to make a lot of money once you get on the straight commission, you've got a unique situation because you've met some of the leaders in our company at all the stores in Joplin. The greatest asset we have here in Joplin over Roper, Crossroads, is simply the fact that we own 6 dealerships. We've got 2 more 45 minutes south of us, Honda, Kia. You know, if you can sell from any of those stores, so if you get a customer, if you get somebody in your circle of influence at the barbershop, remember we talked about the barbershop, going to church, if you're in a bowling league, let everyone know what you do. But if they want to buy a Honda, don't let them go buy it at Roper. Go say, you know, I can sell you a Honda. Let's get in the car and let's drive down to Bentonville, I'll go with you. Sell them a Honda. If you don't have what they're looking for on your lot, go online and see if we have it anywhere in the company. You can sell any of those cars, and I'm here to tell you this. When you come to the store and you drive over there and you're working at Ford and you go over to the Hyundai store, Jason Chambers is gonna probably drop what he's doing to wait on you because it's a sale he normally wouldn't have an opportunity to get. So this is really one company, we're one family, and you're really doing yourself a disservice if you don't sell from all the dealerships. So I'm excited to watch y'all grow, but there's tremendous opportunity for advancement here. And I can tell you, I've seen people go from, I'm gonna give you an example, one more example before I leave. Got a guy named Jesse Flowers, okay? I knew him from years ago, he played football at Oklahoma, but we don't hold that against him, do we, Roger?
Oh, man.
So he was running a limo service, and with Uber, it kind of killed the business. So his income went down, he's got a wife, he's got children that are in college, and he called me up. I said, come sell cars for me. He said, Brent, I don't know if I want to be a salesman the rest of my life, and I've never done it before. I said, come there with a positive attitude. I'm going to put you with a gentleman named Jason Ho who's going to teach you. I'm going to put you with someone on the sales floor that's selling 25 cars a month. He's going to mentor you. The first month he sold 31 cars. Second month he sold 33 cars. I'm not waiting for the third month. We're sending him to F&I school February 17th, 18th, and 19th. And this is a guy he can be a general manager in 6 months. We are starved for good people. And we don't care, you don't have to be college educated. You just have to have a good work ethic, have a great personality, and learn and be open to new ideas. These guys learn every day. And we want to get better, and Frank gives us all the tools to succeed. The dealer socket yesterday. What did y'all think of that product?
Awesome.
It's like having your own personal assistant. It tells you when to follow up. So we don't have any excuse. But if you do not use that technology and that product, you're an idiot. I mean, you really are selling yourself short. It's the greatest tool I've ever seen for sales associates. Am I right, JFK?
It's incredible.
It's
Out of this
really.
world. I wish I had it. I would have sold an extra 10 cars a month just for reiterating the diligence that I already knew that I should have been doing.
Let me,
Go ahead.
this guy talking back there, we call him JFK, his actual name is Josh Kirby. He's general manager of Dodge, I'm sure he's spoken to you. But he was a salesman at Fletcher Chevrolet down in Springdale, Arkansas. And I mean, he was young, and I just didn't see him advancing. He just looked like me, he wasn't interested. And he comes over and he goes, Mr. Fletcher, you know anything about the internet? This is 20 years ago. No, I don't believe that. He goes, well, he said, I'm selling people down at the university, they like to deal on the internet. This was like nobody was doing it. There were no sites of it anyway, so I started being impressed with him. And he said, well, what do you do for me if I sell 15 cars next month? I said, what would you like me to do? He said, I'd like you to do something personal with me. I said, I'll take you to a Razorback game like you've never been to one. And he did, and Brent and I took him to a Razorback game. After y'all were with the company a while, we'll tell you what happened that day. But we formed a great friendship that day. We had a lot of fun. So, all these people in here that I'd say 99.9% of them are great friends. I'm great friends with, besides working with. You know, we talk on the telephone. We talk about stuff besides business. I'm really interested in one of the things I want to see all of you do is when you start making $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month, I want you to learn how to save. 10, 15%. You know, don't buy the boat, go rent the boat. Get out of an apartment. Because you're paying money that's straight down the drain, y'all all know that. You gotta have a down payment. So when you get a house, I mean, I've talked to more of these people here. There's a guy named Mike Martin, y'all are gonna, meet down, anyways, a young fellow. And, but anyway, the ones I've talked into buying a home, I'm so proud of myself, because they come up to me like it's unbelievable. You know, what am I paying rent anymore? I'm paying less, or I've got a house that I'm really having to work extra because I love going home to that house. I got a man cave. My wife's got friends over playing cards. I mean, it just changes your life. It changes your life. When I get those notes from you, hey, I moved out of an apartment I've been in all my life, or I moved out of mom and dad, and I got my own place. You know, that will really be your payback to me. But you cannot do that when you start spending more than you make. You make $4,000, you just get along, you make $5,000, I'm just gonna buy me something. I'm gonna buy me a big car. I'm gonna buy me a motorcycle. I'm gonna do something. And then you have one bad month, you can't make the payments. So you're gonna make money. I see that right here today. So learn how to save it, put it in a 401. We match some of your money. It grows. I'm gonna give you a simple deal. Buy I buy all kind of stocks, and some of them are dangerous. But you buy AT&T, I'm just gonna give you one. AT&T owns DirecTV. You know, they're not going out of business. The mosquito bites in Costa Rica is not going to affect them. Pays 5.5% interest on this stock. It's not gonna drop 10 points. So instead of putting your money in the bank account, you know, once you get $5,000 extra, you know, get your house first. But then when you got, and I'm talking to the managers back here mainly, when you start putting your money in something safe, and safe don't mean in the bank at 1.7. That's not safe, that's idiot. Do something with your money to make your money grow. What I do with my money is I go buy something else. And I'm in the gambling business. We're fixing to buy some more stores that some of these people in this room know about. And it's a gamble. And we're gonna have some more F&I spots, some more manager shots. That's why we're doing this, guys. More opportunities. And so man, I'm old enough and I've been lucky enough and I'm got a Social Security check. I don't need this damn job. I could go to Hawaii and lay on the beach like a whale. I'd look just like one if I was laying over there. But y'all know something, I'm really having a good time. I hope you can understand that and tell it. I love coming up here and meeting y'all and talking to you. I just hope I get to know you and you come up to me and go, I bought a house. I got married, just had 2 kids, or, you know, some life success. That will be our reward. But I'm gonna keep on doing it, and I'm sure Brent has told you I've got a son that's his age that's in the business with me. We got 3 grandsons, so when I die, it's not gonna stop. Fletcher, they're gonna keep on going. And that's, Brent believes that, and that's why Brent's here. He's in this for a long time past me. I want y'all to be in it a long time past me. But I'm not retiring, so get ready.